week we have discussed about the algae. That means we are discussing about from the chapter plant kingdom. So after algae are 100 percentage living in water. Next, after the algae comes the next class known as bryophyta. Bryos means Moses and phyton means plants. That means Moses like plants. That is a meaning from this coming. And the people those who are studying about these bryophytes, they are known as biologists, and the branch of science leads to the study of is known as bryology. And persons those who are studying about these algae are known as phycologist, and the branch is known as the phycology. And these bryophytes, they are also considered as the amphibians of the plant kingdom because they are considered 50-50. Neither they want 100 percentage water or nor they want 100 percentage land. So wherever this land and the water comes in contact, or where there is more moisture comes in contact with the land, there we can see more amount of bryophytes. And this is the one of the reasons why the scientists are considered also the first life is formed in water, and slowly, that means the evolution of plant. Land is formed in water, then from water it was came to land. So directly it has not came to land, it has came through this bryophytes. From biophytes, next, and like that, finally we have reached to the modern plant age known as angiosperms, otherwise flowering plants, which is 100 percentage in terrestrial in nature. And lot of characteristics are also there, and some other like gymnosperms are also there, they are also terrestrials in nature. So this is how the scientists believe that the evolution of the plant is happened. So whenever this what are the general characteristics of bryophytes, so you have to study these points, you have to remember these points very clearly, then only you can answer to the questions whatever it is coming from this. For example, these plants needed shaded area, that means moisture. This plant will be having thallus means vessel like structures. Then it is attached to a substratum by a rhizoid which is a unicellular or multicellular. Rhizoids means a network of roots. It is not roots, the networks that is coming from the body parts which acts like a roots through which they are attached. They lack true vegetative structures and have a root like, stem like, and leaf like structure. That means they don't have a proper vegetative like structure like stem, leaf, etc. But there may be some resemblance like root like, stem like, and leaf like. And these plants lack vascular bundles. That means there is no xylem and phloem. Bryophyte shows alternative generations between independent gametophyte with sex organs which produce sperms, and again dependent sporospite which contains spores. That means they are showing both two generation in one plant, what that is known as, one is gametophyte, that means generation of gametes, production of gametes, that is through the sperm and ova. Then the independent sporophyte through which the spores are formed. Dominant part of the plant body in the gametophyte which is haploid in nature. The dominant part will be only N in condition. Thalloid gametophyte is differentiated into rhizoid, axis, and leaf. That means the thallus like gametophytes, they will be differentiated as axis, rhizoid, and leaves. Gametophytes bears multicellular sex organs and it is photosynthetic in nature. Antheridium produce anthrozoids which are biflagellated. Antheridium means a male sex organ. They'll produce anthrozoids which are biflagellated in nature. And the female, that is archegonium, which looks like a flask like structure, it produces one egg at a time. Anthrozoids, normal, the sperm anthrozoids fuses with egg form zygote, and zygote develop into a multicellular sporophyte. And the sporophyte is semi-parasitic and dependent on gametophytes for its nutrition. I'll show you the picture. We have picture. Cell or sporophytes undergoes meiosis to form haploid gametes, which is, so the picture is looking like this. So you can see that gametophyte and sporophyte, two parts we can see inside a plant. Gametophyte is responsible for the production of gametes, and the sporophytes are responsible for the production of spores. So sporophytes capsule part will be holding the spores, and the gametophytes parts will be holding the gametes. That is what they have said over there. And one more thing, they have said that sporophyte is semi-parasitic and dependent on gametophytes. So they do, there is no independent living condition for sporophytes. So they have to depend on gametophytes for its nutrition. And the juvenile gametophyte is known as protonema. The name that is given as protonema, and this is a cycle by which they are undergoing this reproductive phase. And next, when we are coming into the classification of bryophytes, these bryophytes are classified into three, and we don't have to study much in detail, but we have to know what are they and what are its uses. First one is known as the liverworts, which is known as Hepatocopsidae. That is the biological name. Why it is known as liverworts? Because it's having a shape of a liver. And next known as the hornworts, that is known as the Anthocrastopodia. And then comes the mosses known as the Bryopesidia. So these are the main classes that is coming under bryophytes. The first one, that is the liverworts. So liverworts, the main characteristics of them are gametophyte plant is either thalloid or phollose. That means these particular plant will be either in a thalloid shape or in a phollose shape. Thalloid is dorsiventral, lobed and dichotomously branched. That means the thalamus will be lobed and they will be dorsiventral in nature, that is upside down will be nature. Each cell of the thallus will contain many chloroplasts with pyrenoids. They have photosynthetic activity. Pyrenoids are structures which are used for storing the starch. Rhizoids are unicellular and branched and aseptate. That means the root-like structures, they are unicellular in nature and there is no septum in between. That means no division in between. The sex organs are born dorsally embedded inside the gametophytic tissue. That means the sex organs are present, seen inside the gametophytic tissue. Sporophyte is made up of capsules or foot. That means the sporophyte is made up of, will be having a capsule area. Columella is absent inside the capsule. Columella means the covering over it is absent. And sporangious tissue developed into endothecum. That is the main thing. And next one, when we are talking about the asexual and the sexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction, most of them, they will be reproducing by fragmentation and gemini. And the sexual reproduction, they will produce like normal gametes, and these gametes will be responsible for the development of sporophytes, through which the spores are undergoing meiotic division, which are free to move anywhere. And next comes is the hornworts. Hornworts, we have already known 300 species, almost numbered as 300 species. And the main features of this are gametophytic bodies, they are flat, dorsiventral, and without any internal difference. Rhizoids are smooth walled, they are very smooth in nature. Each cell has one chloroplast with pyrenoids. Sex organs are present dorsally embedded inside the thallus. That means sex organs are dorsally present inside the thallus. The sporophyte is differentiated into foot, meristematic zone, and capsule. So whatever we are seeing down here, that means there, wherever that rhizoid is there, that is known as the foot, and the middle portion, is known as a meristematic tool, and the tip they will be having the capsules. And pseudo pseudo-elaters are be present. That means the false elaters are present over them. And when we are coming to their reproduction, their reproduction is mainly by fragmentation, and the sexual reproduction there they will be producing the gametes. And next comes is the bryopodia, that is mosses, which is the most common thing found anywhere on this face of this earth. And if you see here, this mosses largest in the bryophytes, and best example is Funaria, Polycitherium, Sphagnum. They are coming under this mosses. And the gametophytes are Protonema and follows gametophores are produced. And the rhizoids are multicellular with oblique septa. That means the septa is there but it is not clear. Sex organs are borne apically on stem. Elaters are absent, and sporangious tissue develops from endothecum. Sporangious tissues means which have the capacity to develop spores. They are known as the sporangious tissues. And dehiscence of the capsule takes place by the separation of the lid. That means whenever these capsules are burst up, there will be lid will be there. And when it is coming to the reproduction, budding and fragmentation are the common. And the sexual reproduction, same. Antheridia and Archegonia, that is a male and the female, are present. And they, after fertilization, a spore will be produced, and spore will undergo meiotic division, and it will be moved from one place to another. So these are the main important things that is coming, and the diagrams are also given, sporophyte and gametophytes. And literally these diagrams are drawn, so when we observe them in their natural condition, we need a lot of example, lot of experience to differentiate between them. It is not that easy to differentiate. And next is what are the ecological important. These points are very much important. That is why I am going reading and explaining way, because if these points are not there, uh, they are not full or finished according to the 11th syllabus. So mainly of this bryophytes, they are found decomposers in the higher plants. Bryophytes grow densely in the soil blinders. Mosses play an important role in bog succession. Mosses can play a landscape to open soil to the climax. For that means bog succession means wherever there is no life, first life can be seen there. And these mosses really have that capacity. When these mosses spores come and fall on a very hard rock, and from that hard rock these mosses can survive, and these mosses slowly they grow on that rock. Some little bit higher plants started to come, like that it will become a life climax, it will become a forest. And some of these mosses have the capacity to reduce the soil erosion and run of water, same like the plants. And they help in the uh, nutrient buildings. That means to build up more recycling and building up the more nutrients. And next come that is a medical use. And in medical use, sphagnum is used in surgical dressing due to high observative power and some antiseptic property to fill the bandages. Marasanthia is used to cure the pulmonary tuberculosis. It is an Ayurvedic medicine. And the pear tar is an antiseptic used for as preservation. And Polycitium species are shown dissolved stone kidneys and bladder. So these are the some of the important, and some of these bryophytes are considered as food also by some of the herbaceous mammals. And these bryophytes are also an indicator that whether there is more acidity or basicity is there. So if there is more acidity, these bryophytes will never grow there, so it is an indicator. and some of them are have the capacity to grow, become a retention capacity to grow on the seabeds, and it helps in the peat formation. Peat is one of the intermediate compound that is formed during the formation of coal. So these are the main important thing that you have to study, and you have to take this note exactly like this and you can keep with you. So this will be very helpful for the examination time. Thank you.